Welcome to the Feature of the Week, presented by Gamers R Us. This is Alex, and this week we're talking about Insurgency. Insurgency offers 6 competitive game modes, as well as a cooperative mode, with 2 settings on that, and there is a practice mode which you can fight bots, but the bots are about as smart as a chicken sandwich and not nearly as tasty. Now, if I had to give Insurgency a label, I would say that it's a cross between Counter-Strike and Battlefield, where basically you have the kind of class-based, squad-based system that you see in Battlefield, but you have kind of the limitations of Counter-Strike and the Source engine. As you can see, you can use the standard, Source game server browser, or you have the option to actually have an automatic game finder based on certain settings. Both actually work quite well. It's just personally I prefer the normal server browser because I can find low ping servers near me easier and just frankly have more control, but it's just a preference thing. What this game definitely isn't is Call of Duty. The difficulty curve when you're playing is quite high. I mean, there are some players on here that are quite good, and for the first at least few hours of the game, you're gonna see yourself dying a lot. Here's the compilation.
We're taking Charlie now.
So as you can see, expect to die a lot, especially early on. But even people like I can actually pick it up and play reasonably well once you understand the maps, once you understand the flow of the game, and understand which weapons you're better at using and you prefer to use. If you need any further proof that the Source engine ages like a fine wine, this game would be it. I mean, this Insurgency looks exactly like a next-gen title, and this is using basically a graphics engine that now is pushing 10 years plus at this point. It's really remarkable what companies like Valve and even these guys, New World Interactive, can pull out of a very old graphics engine and still make it look this good. I mean, it's not going to beat Battlefield 4 graphically, obviously, but the game can more than hold its own. This game offers some really intense firefights that really end up being quite fun. They keep you on the edge of your seat, your heart's beating, and just overall, the game ends up having this adrenaline rush, which is really what good shooters do. There's kind of this period of this lull of nothing happening, and then you just immediately get into just a heart-pounding, intense firefight. Now, of course, to say that this game doesn't have any bugs or any issues would be to not be entirely truthful. There are sometimes crash issues when trying to load up a server, but thankfully this is a Source engine game, so luckily the crash issues seem to be kept to a minimum. But there also seem to be a limited number of maps currently being used by the community, and there are just some maps which are really quite horrendous and aren't done very well. Now, I'm hoping in the future they can fix that, but there are a couple of maps I wouldn't ever touch. While the maps to me were the biggest issue, this is a problem that developers can solve pretty easily, and it just doesn't take away from the quality of the overall product. If you're a shooter fan, a tactical shooter fan, a Battlefield fan, or just like to have fun, Insurgency might very well be a good bet for you.